Hi, this series will take you the rest of the way to completing the bowling alley project. For your rough draft, you completed the environment, you made the ball roll down the lane and disappear, and you knocked over one pin. I'll show you a process to follow for knocking down some more pins, but I'll let you work on that on your own, and you'll return here to the lesson after you've completed that part. For starters, it won't be good to have all of the pins fall down exactly at the same time. You want it staggered at least a little bit. The first pin that I knocked down started on frame 96, so the next pin should be a few frames after that. I'm going to click on the ruler here and go to frame maybe 99 or 100, just a few frames to the right. I think I'll animate pin 3, so in the layers stack here, I'll click on pin 3, which is this one right here. I need to click on the transform layer icon, go to animation, add keyframe. Of course, this is very important. We need to start out with this always, and go through that same process of going a couple of frames, moving the pin a bit, a couple more frames, maybe some rotation, some more movement, a couple of frames, and a bit more of whatever. And you just try and vary it if you can. In looking at my path here, I might even try to go up higher in this range. So I pull back on my scrub bar and see that the pin is facing kind of like this right here, and so I could pull it up. This may not work. If it doesn't, I could do Control Z and push the play button. So it's okay, not so bad. Again, I'm not going to sit here on screen and refine everything, but you get the general idea. I wouldn't recommend moving a little further along the timeline for every single pin that you move. That might seem a little awkward just as much as it would if you moved every single pin right at the same moment on the timeline. You can have 2 or 3 of them fall at the same time. I may have pin 2 and pin 5 start on frame 99, and then a couple more in the back there. I may move a bit further down before I start the falling of the pin on those in the back. So remember that you want 2 to 4 pins left standing. Why don't you pause, work on this, and return to this video once you've gotten to that point. Okay, I've made some more pins fall. I left 3 standing. Here's what mine looks like up to this point. I've got the ball rolling into the pins and one wobbles and falls down. Now we're going to insert the ball rolling pins falling sound. Remember that I did provide sounds for you in the classroom if you want to use any of those. So have that ready on your computer, and let's look at how to go about this. Go to frame 0. You may also want to look over in your layers palette there and perhaps click on the bottommost layer. Click on New Layer, Audio. Find the sound that you plan to use and click Open. So you see the audio file in your layers palette. Now you can play it through to listen to it. I'm not going to do that right now. It'll interfere with my talking. But I happen to know that the sound of when the pins are struck starts right here in this audio file, and this is, of course, the waveform showing. Now keep in mind the clip that you chose may be too short, which could be a problem. If it's too long, that's not really as much of a problem. But here's how you work this out. Click on your timeline ruler and scrub along until you find the point where, now let me zoom in a little bit so I can see this better, the point where my first pin moving seems to be just getting hit. And of course I know that that's around 96. I'll click over here on the sequencer tab, and then I need to use my vertical scroll bar right here to find, there it is, the audio. So I'll just drag this over. So I've got approximately the beginning of when the pins are struck, matching up with this place on the timeline. So all you have to do is just make that adjustment, moving it to the right or the left, until you see that the pin hit sound is matching up. So you can test over and over by pushing the play button. You could even render that portion of the video if you want to, make an MP4, have a look at it, see what you think, make adjustments if you need to. It's possible that you may need to just choose a different clip if the one that you chose is not fitting well at all. Or you may need to open up the clip in the Audacity audio editor and perhaps make some modifications to it and then save it in a new file name and import it back into your project. Go ahead and finish up with this part. I'm going to pause now, but I will be moving on from this in the next video.